Hey, what's up guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Mason. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 tips and tricks that I believe everyone should know in Capture One. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to learn something new. But before we get into that, please give this video a thumbs up. It just helps YouTube know that my content is decent and YouTube will show it to more people. And also subscribe. A lot of people are not subscribed to this channel. We're at about 98,000, trying to get to 100. And comment below, let me know a thing or two that you've learned, and also if you have anything to teach me, I'll really be glad to learn from you. So put it in the comments below. So let's get straight into this. The first thing I want to show you guys is the focus mask. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about this, but if you do not know about this, then you're welcome. The focus mask is a tool in Capture One that just helps you know what part of your image is in focus, and also what part of your image is not in focus. Just simple and straightforward. All you have to do is click on it, select an image, click on it, and you have this green mask around your subject showing you where exactly is in focus, and wherever you don't have that mask is where it's not in focus. Now this works for raw files. I do not know if it works for JPEG files, but I know it definitely does not work on PSD files when you're done editing, but it works on raw files, and it's just a great way for you to know what image is in focus and what image is not in focus. If you cannot find your focus mask, then all you have to do is right click up here on the toolbar, customize toolbar, and it's definitely going to be somewhere in there. So if I drag this out, all I have to do is just look for my focus mask. This is it right here, and I can just drag it back in and click done, and that's it. So you have your focus mask right now. The next thing we're going to talk about, number 2, second tip, is this guy right here called exposure warning. Now exposure warning helps you know what part of your image is overexposed or underexposed. Now with Capture One, once your image is overexposed, it shows this red, and what this red just means is that this part of your highlights are clipping and you're losing detail in that part, and you need to numb it down, bring it back to a point where you can have detail in your images. Okay, great. Now the other part is when your image is underexposed. As you can see, there's no one in here for me, and Capture One does have that option. The only problem is, I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's not automatically toggled on when you get your Capture One. All you have to do is go to Capture One, go to preferences, that's Capture One up here, go to preferences, then go to exposure and enable shadow warning. So once you do that, get out of here. Once your image, let's just underexpose this image, it just shows you the parts of your blacks that are extremely crushed and you're losing detail. So if you're somebody that does like a lot of low light shoots or low key shoots, then this will definitely be, or low key lighting shoots, this would definitely be an asset for you. And I totally understand why maybe Capture One doesn't have it toggled on, because I mean you can already see that your image is getting underexposed here. Now another thing about that I didn't talk about, let's just go into it, is that you can change whatever color you want to use for either the highlights or the shadows. So I think that's a really neat one there from Capture One, letting you choose whatever color you want to use. Okay, great. So now that you've learned how to use the exposure warning tool, the next thing I want to talk about is just a little bit more advanced, and it's called your luminosity mask. So right here you have luma range, but you can see it's not toggled on. To toggle this on, all you have to do is create a new layer. Now in Capture One, you can stack up layers like you do in Photoshop and have different things on those layers, and I think that's really good, especially for processing raw files and not just processing PSD or JPEG files in Photoshop. Okay, great. All you have to do is create a new field adjustment layer. Make sure it is a field adjustment layer. So once we've created a new field adjustment layer, what we're going to do right now is change this to highlight, because that's what I want to work on. I want to work on the highlights in this particular image. Now I'm going to try my best to explain the luminosity curve so you guys understand, or the luminosity mask I mean, so you understand what that is. What it does is that it would select either the shadows or the highlights of your image and let you I would say work on those parts of the images individually. So if for some reason you're trying to color grade the shadows, you can use the luminosity mask to pick out the shadows. This will be amazing for like portraits that you shot outdoors, trying to color grade it and all that. If you shoot buildings, landscape, it is really nice. Now I'll try my best to show you guys how this works with a headshot like this. But like I said, the simple and easy way to explain it is that it just selects different parts of your images, like the highlights and the shadows, so that you can apply settings to those particular parts of your images individually. Hope you guys understand. So now that I have this, what I'm going to do is just go to my Luma curve right here. and increase my highlight. So it's almost like dodge and burn. Let's say I just want to dodge and burn this image without actually dodging and burning this image, right? All I have to do is now click on Luma Range. And once I click on Luma Range, remember I'm working on our highlights layer. Here in Luma Range, all I have to do is drag this. And by dragging this, what I'm doing is that I am removing the highlight effect that I just added to this image. I am removing it from the shadow part of my image and just putting it in the highlights. Now you can see it looks wonky, and that's because it is just really sharp at the edges right now, and we need to blend that in. We need the transition to be gradual. We need like a gradient, moving from shadows to the highlights. Now to add that gradient, all you have to do is just come in here and drag this slider back. As you can see, we're adding that gradient, but I feel like this is still all over the face, and what I'm going to do is pull it in because I just want it to really affect the highlighted part. And now we've added that gradient. You can click on your display mask, and your display mask will show you how Capture One is adding the mask to those areas and how Capture One is blending in the mask, right? The gradual transition. Okay, great. So if we want it to want it to be sharp and really harsh, you can bring it back. But if you want it to transition and just be really nice, then you can pull this away. Okay, great. So now we're just going to click on apply, and just apply it to some certain places in our images, the highlighted places to be specific. And with our layers, you can always just reduce your opacity to match what you want. So we're going to do this again for our shadows, right? So what we're going to do is create a new fill adjustment layer, and what we're going to name this is our shadows. So this is the shadow part of our images. And like I said, it's just like micro dodge and burn. No, global dodge and burn, actually. So I'm going to drag this down. And now that I've dragged this down, what I'm just going to do is click on Luma Range. I'll display my mask. I'll pull it away from my highlights, just to my shadows there. And what I'm going to do is that I'll just blend it in, and then I'll click apply. You can see it there. It's too much. Effect is too strong. All I have to do is just come here and reduce the opacity to level that I like. Okay, great. So you can see our before and after. So I'm going to show that quickly to you guys. This is our before, and this is our after. Looks nice, doesn't it? That's our before and after. Looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, great. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is how to actually apply styles to your layers. Now styles are Capture One's presets. So Capture One calls its preset styles. Just a little play on words there for them. I don't know, but they call their preset styles. And with your presets, what you can do now is apply them to layers and then have control of that layer, how much of the presets you want to apply. And I think that's really cool. So right now, what we're going to do is create a new field adjustment layer again. And then we're just going to name this a grade, maybe like a color grade, click OK. And you would click on that particular layer, then go to apply from, and I have some custom styles, and I'll use Mason Canvas 1, and I'm just going to click on this. Now the thing about like applying styles is that if your style has some certain things in Capture One that are not like color exposure, so like this one has film grain and vignetting, it's not going to apply those film grains and vignettes into your styles. You have to apply them to the actual background, which is like the actual image. So put that at the back of your mind, and that's totally fine. We just need the colors for this one. So I'm just going to click OK, and as you can see, I've applied a grade to this. So before, after. It's a subtle grade. Absolutely like it. Before and after. By the way, I have some free styles, free Capture One styles. They are in my digital store. Free Capture One wedding styles. They are absolutely amazing, and you can use them for your outdoor images too, your outdoor portraits. So definitely check it out. Links will be in the description below. Link will be up here. And while you're checking that out, check out my other things in my digital store: my retouching essentials pack, my skin tone loss for Photoshop, my eyes and teeth whitening actions. Those are free, and frequency separation actions that are free for retouching. Check them out. Link will be in the description below. And I'll put a card somewhere up here. So yeah, okay, now that we've done this, what we can do is reduce the opacity to match what we want. As you can see, this looks really good. All I have to do is take this image right now, take it into Photoshop, work on it, and bring it back, and it'll look good. It'll just look like this. Retouch, see, looks really nice. This are before, this are after. Have those colors looking absolutely gorgeous. I hope you guys have learned a thing or two. I'll tell you guys about the last thing, and the one that I absolutely love, which is like one of my favorites, and that is exporting in Capture One. Capture One has this thing called export recipes, where you can export an image to different subfolders or different I'll say resolution of your images to different subfolders, and I think that's really nice and neat. Okay, great. So what we're going to do right now is click on this and go to export. When you get on export, you can see that you have export with previous settings, export original files. With Capture One, if you already have like a setting that you've used to export a particular image in that particular I'll say that particular session, what Capture One does is that it would export, using the previous settings that you've used, and it's just easier for you. But if I click on export here, once I go in here, you can see export recipes. Now I have recorded this video maybe 5 times. So I've exported maybe 5 times already, but I just want to quickly run through this so you guys can see. Now Capture One has some recipes that are already set for you. You can go in there and edit them to your choice. Then also what Capture One does when you create a session is that it creates a capture folder for you, a select folder, an output folder, and a trash folder. So it exports your images to your output folder. Now in your output folder, when you use these export recipes, it will create subfolders in there for you, and I've named my subfolders website for the web one. I've named the one for the highest quality, I named it print, and the one for social media, I named it made. Now you can create your own export recipes too, or you can just, like I said, edit one of these. And once you have these selected, all you have to do is click on export. So we just go click on export right here, and what Capture One will do is export your I don't know why my screen moved. What Capture One will do is export your images to those particular subfolders, and you can then export a lot of images to whatever subfolders you want to export them, and then just send those subfolders to your clients. If you have a client that wants images for print, social media, and also their website, Capture One makes it really easy for you. Anyways, these are 5 tips and tricks that I believe everybody should know in Capture One. I use these every time and I absolutely love them. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you love this video, like I said, give it a thumbs up. Doesn't take anything away from you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for all the support. Have an amazing day, guys. My name is Prince Mason. Peace out.